My friend even thought it was hilariously bad. He was laughing. Like we literally both were like laughing in the theater at some points because of how bad it was. Some of the audience was even laughing at the movie. It was that bad.
Yeah, like I said, from one of the other reviewers, he said that every time they tried to do humor, he had a dead audience.
That's weird. The humor in the first third of the movie was actually pretty good. Like there's this Asian guy who like was just crazy and like trying to like spy on Sam Witwicky because he's like this. He comes off like this crazy conspiracy theorist, and he was pretty funny. He got up on John Malkovich's face, was all like, "You trying to get up on my shit?" in this like crazy Asian accent. He was really funny, but sadly he died.
Ugh.
Just some Decepticon killed
Who
him, threw him out a window.
who wants to care about characters anyway?
Who wants to have a decent story?
Yeah,
I
who?
mean,
Oh, that's why people will never understand why I was so pissed off when Sindel killed everyone in Mortal Kombat.
and it was such a long movie for a movie where nothing
That
important
was
happened.
something that pissed me off with the second movie. I don't mind long movies. It's just that it has to be justified with a good story, characters acting. It
Yeah,
has to be that fucking good. The Dark Knight was that fucking good, or at least in my opinion, good enough to be a 2.5 hour flick. Films like Avatar, which had some nice visuals, had some nice effects, but very, very standard story, I can only sit through it once and only once. I have no plans to rewatch that movie ever again. And with Transformers, you could probably cut down lots and lots of shit and make it a 90-hour flick like the first one, which is probably why I actually like it more. It's not because of the action scenes that you and I had an argument with earlier. It's because it got to it sooner.
it was a decent film, but like these other two were terrible. There was a literal execution scene in this movie too. Like like the Decepticons are just sitting around guarding these like Autobot captives, and like some humans are like, "Why don't you show them who's boss?" And so he's like, one of the Decepticons is like, "Yeah, I want a trophy," and takes like this super intelligent like Autobot that they just barely like introduced into the series in this movie, and like takes him out, and the guy's like begging for his life, and like, "Don't kill me, man. We can talk this out," and he blows him away, and the guy flips around, and like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" Bam! Just destroys him.
With this with this increased number of body counts, this is starting to sound like Ultimatum.
It's way too dark, and the fact that everyone's begging for their life and making you feel all depressed and crap.
Jesus. I wish people dying with dignity would have been nice, but God forbid you have that.
They almost killed Bumblebee in the execution circle.
Oh, Jesus.
But random Decepticons started falling from the sky, and then he started killing things, just in a weird ass way.
But according to that Wikipedia lookup, I heard Shockwave was supposed to be the main villain. Was he?
He was badass, but no.
Okay, so apparently the storyline involves. It turns out the first moon landing was a conspiracy for like a ship that actually landed there several whiles a long time ago.
That's one thing that I kind of liked is the fact that I think they borrowed this from the cartoon, but
Yeah,
there,
they
there
kind
was
of did.
apparently a space bridge that could be built to transport one place from another.
Yeah, that was that teleportation thing that they were trying to explain in the second movie.
Yeah. So that's something, it's just the entire thing was just crap,
Ugh.
just big steaming pile of crap. They killed the two like little tiny comedy relief Decepticon defects,
You mean Wheelie?
William Brains,
Oh,
because they
well,
were
that's
like
a
in
good
this
thing, isn't
movie
it? They were annoying.
they were annoying in the first and the second movie, but in this movie they were actually pretty fun to listen to, and they didn't hump anything.
Cool.
and they were pretty interesting. I didn't mind them too much. At least we had some comedy relief. But they went and destroyed like one Decepticon ship, even though there was like five in the sky. They destroyed one, and then were like, "Yeah, we destroyed it," and then like crashed and died.
Ugh, yeah, that just sounds
It was it
that
was
not only does that sound bad, that just sounds utterly depressing.
yeah. The entire movie was dark, boring, and depressing.
Just like episode 3.
It was just
Yeah,
it was just stupid.
yeah. I know a lot of people are gonna get on my ass for not seeing the third movie, not giving it a chance, but I'm sorry. I've been kicked in the nuts too many times by people who always tell me, "Oh, no, no, this movie's actually good for what it is." I'm like, even if I judge it by the lowest of the lowest common denominator standards, I would still be pissed off.
See, the only reason I ever care about action scenes is because I care about the two people fighting. And
Yeah,
you don't feel that in this because you don't know half the time you don't know any of the Decepticons that fight.
it's like what Mr. Plinkett said about those Jedi dual sabers in the prequel films. It's like, since you barely know the characters, you barely can't get attached to them. As a result, their fights are kind of boring, no matter how flashy they are.
And the entire film, it built up to this giant battle between Optimus Prime and Shockwave. Like it was like a big part of the film. Like every time they saw each other, they were just like Optimus, Shockwave, like they're about to just kick each other's asses. And then all of a sudden, like that battle doesn't happen. Like Shockwave rides this giant like mechanical worm thing, which is what you saw destroying these things in the buildings in the trailers.
Hmm.
Well, Optimus kills that, then just runs off to do something else, and then the humans kill Shockwave instead of this. What would
Oh,
have been a really good battle.
yeah, dude, Shockwave deserved to die with better dignity than that.
It would have been so cool to see in a battle between them two. Like literally none of the battles were any fun at all.
Oh no, we're not watching it. I'm sorry, my friend's on the watching TV in the background, but yeah. So final thoughts for me and maybe everyone else.
Don't watch it. If con your friend into renting it if you really have to see it.
Yeah, except my friends aren't that stupid. Actually, we could have another bad movie night, and this could be a really good pick
Yeah, there
in the
you
near
go.
future. Once it comes out on DVD, we might rent it,
Good
because
luck staying awake.
because we need to get something to get the taste of Eclipse out of our mouth.
Another thing, all the slow motion effects were done in times where nothing important was happening. It would just randomly go into slow motion for no reason.
Yeah. Okay. Is that everything that you need to get off your chest?
Not really.
Oh God.
It's such a bad movie. I mean, there's like all sorts of things. Like there's this awkward scene. By the way, the one chick never got dirty, even with all this war going on. Like
Just
Sam's
like Megan
girlfriend.
Fox in the second movie, so that doesn't
Yeah,
surprise me.
at least she got a little more sweaty than this chick. This chick was so like pristine and perfect, and her makeup was fine. And then like she's just standing there, and like there's this slow-mo scene. I guess it's supposed to be dramatic, but it fails, where she's just like staring into nothingness, and like there's a bunch of chaos and explosions and death behind her, and she like is not looking at it, and it's dumb. Like this entire movie is dumb. Like if I could think of one word to describe this entire movie, it's dumb.
Yeah, we got a new name for that. It's called Shit Pants Retarded.
It doesn't deserve such a long name.
Wow. But there are dumb action films that are good. I'm sorry. I just see so many people get defensive about the second movie 2 years ago. They're gonna do the same for the third one.
If
And
if
if
you want
they
to talk,
like it, that's fine. I don't give a fuck, but I'm not gonna see it.
my definition of a dumb action film is like a Pierce Brosnan 007 film. That's a good dumb action film. That's something you can just veg out to and watch. But this is just shit.
Mm. My definition of a dumb action film would have to be something along the lines of shoot 'em up, or even the new Star Trek film could be categorized as that, where okay, fine,
Or Kick Ass.
or Kick Ass,
That was a
where
good dumb action film.
some of the story and plot elements are just not really that good or they have holes in them. But you know what? For the action sequences, they're still a fun movie to watch. You know, in other words, a popcorn flick like
Yeah,
Independence Day and yeah, yeah, yeah. But so you're saying by the lowest of the lowest popcorn flick standards, it's dumb. It's too dumb.
I don't see how anyone could like this movie at all. I have a friend who actually liked how, badass Optimus was, but I don't look at that as a plus because I know him as the intelligent leader who is like merciful and brave, and he just wasn't that at all.
Yeah, I don't. I can't remember Optimus killing anyone outside of the movies. To be honest, he damaged and crippled a shit ton of them, like in the G1 cartoon movie, but he didn't flat out kill them. Though I think he was about to kill Megatron. But that went to hell in the head handbasket thanks to Judd Nelson.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that episode. Anywho, so is that everything?
Yeah, that's all I really want to mention right now. I could probably go on forever, but I think that's all the important stuff.
Okay. Uh, a lot of people are gonna be pissed off, mostly at me for not giving it a chance.
I
But
just
I've seen
I
people, I've seen people who told me who didn't want to give Green Lantern or X Men First Class a chance. So that's kind of double standards, and I love both of those movies. Well, to
those
be more
movies were
specific, I loved First Class, but I liked the Green Lantern movie. That
those
one,
movies had wonderful, wonderful plots, and this one doesn't. This one doesn't.
yeah. All right. I guess I'll cut it off from here, and hopefully we can talk about something more positive.